Hey guys, Vazzy back here, and it is time for episode 11 of our Pittsburgh Penguins franchise mode here on NHL 25. So if you guys haven't checked out the last one, spoiler alert, we ended up going to the Stanley Cup Finals. We were up 3-2, just had to win one more game, and we got screwed out of the Stanley Cup by some bad plays with EA and ended up losing to the Seattle Kraken. So we have a huge offseason coming up here. So many guys need deals. There's going to be a lot of turnover on this team in this episode. Carlson, McCann, McGroarty, Savoy, Gostisbehere. You can go down the list, and there's guys that we're going to have to trade. There's a lot of moving parts, and I really don't have a plan going into this draft. We're just going to kind of have to wait and see what happens. So let's jump into it. I have a couple of trades I actually do want to get started out with. I just want to see, I'm guessing we're picking 31 here. That would make sense. I think we still have our first round pick. We do at 31. So who's going to be available there? Is there anyone that we want to trade up for? Or are we going to be okay at 31? So I think at 31 you can still get a similar player that you can get at like 20, as long as they're not elite, if they're just top 6 or top 4. And honestly, I think we're going to be okay. Sorting by potential here, again, a lot of these guys are just top-end players. You have the defenseman there at 16. Honestly, though, I think I am fine with just keeping our pick at 31. Okay, so a couple of fine trades here just to dump a couple of players. It does suck. They are core members of this team, at least one of them is. Brian Rust, you were not given much time this past season. You have one more year left on that deal at 5.125. Can still be a very solid bottom 6 player, but I think it's time to maybe move on from you at this point. 28 points, you played 800 plus games with this organization. We thank you for all your service, but where can we send you off to? And we're going to really need to clear up this 5.125 million. It sucks, but it is what it is. So honestly, I think we should probably just go back to Colorado there with the third in the prospect. I am fine with that. Enjoy your time in Colorado, Brian Rust. You were amazing for us. Going down here, I have one more player. It's gonna be a little bit tougher. 4 million for one more year, I guess, on Vladimir Tarasenko. Down to an 81, was playing in the bottom 6. We just unfortunately have to move off of him at this point. Ideally, want to send him out to the West. Definitely don't want to send him out to the Rangers. So honestly, Lemieux, you can come back to Pittsburgh here, get a Lemieux in Pittsburgh, medium top 9 for Tarasenko just to dump the $4 million. And just like that, we cleared, what is that, $9 million between the two? So that's not bad. That should help us out in the re-sign stage. That should help us bring in a few new players. So looking at the first round here, Landon DuPont, 83, Alexis Joseph, Jackson Jacobson, Cami. Everything actually is looking pretty good here of how we set it up. There will be some slight changes in later updates, but I'm okay with that. So who do we have available? Medium top 9 and then a lot of undiscovered. Do we want to even maybe trade this pick? Because this late in the draft, in the first round, I definitely want to get a guy who's at least guaranteed. Like you have Deschamps playing here. Could be low elite, and those low elites in the early second round are normally good, but it's not guaranteed. You have Brigley there. Playmaker, medium top 6. Honestly, I think that's the play. Brigley, come on down. You're 65, medium top 6 playmaker. That is good. I don't know if you'll make the team at some point or if you'll be a trading asset. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. So second round here, Bruce Carson. That seems like a pretty easy pick, but you have Setzinger right down there. Who do we go for between the two? I like them both DFDs. 6'3" versus 6'2", but one is a gem. I think we go with Bruce Carson here. Bruce Carson, come on down. You are a 62 overall, medium top 4 defensive defenseman. Third round pick here. Let's see what we have. We have this Chubarov guy, maybe medium 4, I doubt it. But I'm not really seeing too much else there. You have like Gardner. Then it goes down into low 4, low 6s, which are always just, they don't grow at all, so it's no point. So Chubarov, come on down. Medium top 6. Again, maybe he can be a depth guy for us at some point. It's not great, not bad. Going on to the 4th round here, is there any other steals that we can get at this point? So low top 9, I'm not really interested in that. Tarasov, maybe medium elite goalie, so let's go 200 so we can just kind of reach on him. I'm not really opposed to that. Tarasov, what are you going to be looking like? Medium fringe starter, that's again not great. So we have another pick here in the 5th round, 127. Definitely doesn't seem to be as much depth in these draft classes here. Trevor Bold, we just take a shot on the medium 9. Medium bottom 6, yeah, we weren't expecting much from him. But yeah, it seems like the scouts kind of let us down a little bit here, if I'm being totally honest. Or maybe it's just a weak draft class too, could be that. So you have Black there, you could be okay. Again, nothing really for potential. You have a couple maybe 2-bar low elites, like Bobkov. I'm willing to take a shot on Bobkov. And he actually is a low elite, there we go. Playmaker, 56 overall, he is 19, but still, it's another guy that we can get in the system. Who knows, maybe he can become something. Is that other low elite guy maybe still there? He is. Magnus Nicholas, let's see what you are. You're low top 4, so, you know, with that potential probably won't grow, but still could be another trade asset down the road. And what is this last pick of our draft here today? Honestly, let's just go for this backer. He's probably the next projected low elite. Probably isn't, but yeah, medium bottom 6. Okay, so there we go. The draft is over. I think we have a few guys that might be able to make an impact in the NHL at some point down the road. Again, I think with going to the Stanley Cup final now, I think we're still in the buyer territory at least for one more year. Until these guys start retiring. Your Malkin, your Crosbys, your Letangs, they all stayed around, so I don't really know. Let me take care of these scouts and all that stuff. I'll be back with you guys in 1 second. Okay, so the scouts have all been dealt with, and we're ready to get into the re-sign stage. Okay, so let's go all expiring. Let's do this in phases. So goalies, Blomqvist, high starter 86. You played in very, very good. You put up very good numbers. I wouldn't mind locking him up. So 6 years kind of seems to be the sweet spot for right around $6 million. Like 585, we're gonna need to add money to that. Like, I'm fine with locking him down, giving him some kind of clause. His interest comes up a bit, but yeah, he's been a guy who's actually given us results, so I don't mind paying a guy like that. Normally I don't love paying goalies like that, but again, it's not even like you're paying him that much, just a little bit over $6 million probably. Like if we went 6.5 by 6, give him a bit of a no trade clause in there. I think we could have him locked up for a while. We'll see. We also have to remember we do have an Ivan Kovic behind him, but he's not proven at this point. Who knows, he might not be a good sim goalie. Obviously we will sign him though. Eric Comrie, I'm going to bring you back just because of how good you played last year in that small sample size. Murishev here, of course we will be bringing him back. Could be a pretty good player for us at some point down the road. Greaves, we do not need you. And Brian here, we can give your ELC2. So there we go. Goaltending should be taken care of for the moment. Let's move over to defense. Erik Karlsson, we don't want to let you walk, but what are you looking for? $11 million. It is only 1 year, so I don't mind the 1 year aspect of it. If we want to take one more swing at it with this team, cost to spare, gonna probably drop off. We'll wait for now. Bernard Docker, I do like you. He wants 3 years though, but you are very solid, just, you know, bottom pairing defenseman, maybe 70. You know, honestly, if you accept a 1.5 for 3, good cost control, you've been playing pretty good for us, we'll do that. Pickering, what are you looking at right now? $2 million for 3, it's not bad. I just want to qualify him for now just to kind of see what our money situation's looking like. A bunch of these guys will get released. Miller, Lundmark, Clayson and Bracco will get their ELCs. Clayson actually might be a pretty good D coming up for us. Bracco there, who knows, maybe a depth guy at some point. Move over to forwards now. Alright, so Jared McCann, 87 overall, 31 years of age. He played really good in his return to Pittsburgh. 68 points, 35 goals, was good on that top line. Comes down to money, what are you looking for? 7.3 for 4, so I like the term, 4 years, I'm fine with that. Definitely not going to be a full no trade clause, we'll go 50%. Contract and organization is way up there, honestly. We can get the money down quite a bit here, I think, and he still could be happy with this. Like 675? Don't want to really make him too angry here. 6'6"? If he says yes to that, that's a great deal for us, getting him locked up. Rucker, I haven't been too impressed with you. Not looking for a ton of money. He's a guy, if he doesn't pick it up, starting next season, we might look to send him out somewhere else. Give him that bridge deal for now. Matthew Savoie, 4.4 for 4. I don't really know what I want to do for him right now. We will qualify him and come back. Koivunen has been a bottom 6 guy, but he's been alright. Honestly, 2 years, bridge deal, keep him as an RFA. 1.65, I'd be okay with that. Appleton, you've been good in the bottom 6 again. As long as it's not too much money. It's not awful. 2 years, 1.6, I'm fine with that. Then we'll have a bunch of guys again to release. Glass, Wallstrom, Simoneau. Again, we can get these guys back in free agency if we want them, but just kind of want to know where our contract situation stands at the moment. Yannick, Janssen there, low 9. Honestly, we got him in the trade and may as well sign him. Probably doesn't do anything. Makinen here, we will sign him as well. Medium top 9 prospect. And Magnuson, probably don't need him at this point. So there we go. There's the initial offers all sent out. Have a lot of scouts signing on here, but I'm curious to see what some of these guys will say. So still going through all the scouts here. You might want to redo that at some point too, if I remember. So Appleton, bottom 6 guy. Bernard Docker is coming back. Blomqvist isn't. McCann, that's a huge accept. Rucker, Koivunen. Okay, so we got some progress made there on some of these contracts. So all expiring. We only have 4 guys now, and we have Blomqvist. So Blomqvist will qualify you just to start. What can we lock you up to for a 6-year deal? I think the 7 is going to be too much at this point. 6 years, again, will give you some protection, but we still want to be able to move you in case Ivan Kovic is pretty good for us. Like, would you go 6x7? Is that way too much of an overpay? His bar is up there. I know it's more than his asking price, but if we're going to lock him up, let's just do it. See what he says to that offer. So now 4 more players here. Goss to spare, doesn't want a lot of money, but he's not great at this point. Probably going to regress. Carlson, you can't let him walk there after such a good season. His bar is full. He loves the organization. He wants to stay in Pittsburgh. I'm fine with giving him that no move clause. Like, when you take 1 year, $10 million, it's still pretty high up there. I think we can probably get away with that. And if he does sign, that's clear indication that we will be going for it for at least 1 more season here. And boom, Erik Karlsson, just like that. 1 year, $10 million. He is back in Pittsburgh. So is Blomqvist. There we go. So we have 3 guys left. At this point, Goss to spare. Let's go to our defenseman here in the NHL. Oops, I did not mean to back out of that. Let's see where he would be on the depth chart. I think we're going to still need a defenseman. So he would be technically number 4 or 5. I'm fine with letting him go for now and seeing what's available in free agency. Pickering and Savoie. What do we want to do with these 2 players? I really want to lock down Savoie, whatever, however you say it. I want to get him locked down. I think he still could be a very good second-line player of the future. Ideally here, get him locked up for like 7 years, take him till age 30. 7 years goes up a little bit more, takes his demand down. I think we're going to have to maybe do 6 years. Unfortunately, it's going to be just a little bit too much money. So let's go 6 years, throw in a little bit of a clause there at the end. $5 million, 6 years, we'll even make an 8-team no trade. So it's still easy to move him, we'll see what he says. Owen Pickering, wasn't asking for too much, we still have money to play with, 18 million. So let's go 4 years, let's lock him down until he's 27, just get some stability for both parties. See what both players say. So Vance is back. Matthew Savoie, awesome, and Pickering, awesome. So there we go. There's everything taken care of in the re-sign stage. It actually went quite a bit better than I was expecting. So let's just continue on here. Let's advance toward free agency, and I'll kind of show you guys what I see this team looking like. So here on July 1st, let me put up a quick screenshot here of what I kind of envision this team looking like. And honestly, I think this team is in a pretty good spot. Really, I only see us needing a third line center and a top pairing defenseman. A spot we have been in the past, but I think it is doable, and hopefully in free agency we can find guys that will fit this role. We have about 13 million bucks, so I think for the most part it is somewhat doable. So let's go see what is available in free agency here. Actually, first let's go and check our contract extensions. I always like to do that there before we spend all our upcoming money. So Mikhail Ilyin here, 4 years at 5.3. That's actually not a bad contract for him. He's gonna probably be given a decent shot this year. Again, he wants to get to UFA status, so that's the issue. So you get that term up there, his interest isn't going to be as much. Honestly, let's wait for him for now. So you have Malk and Letang, Henrique down to 81. That's definitely not great. He'll be a good fourth line center though, I guess. Outside of that, I'm not super concerned about anyone. Goalies, it's last year at Jari's contract. We can finally move off that after this season. Honestly, let's just jump to free agency. What's available? Centers here. Sam Bennett right off the bat, I see. 31.85, not asking for a lot of money. Could that be a perfect fit there on the third line? Maybe. You have Holla, Giroux, Colton, but it drops off pretty quick. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe a guy like Sam Bennett would be perfect on that third line. Just one more year, one more push at that Stanley Cup before we really do start to retool. And I'm guessing we'll lose a couple of players this year. Bennett didn't have the best season. Maybe that's why his money's down a bit. Let's maybe wait. Let's see defensively. That's not great. John Marino, best defenseman available. Why is it always 84s? There's like nothing good ever available for free agent defenseman. Samuel Girard, not putting up a ton of points. Could bring Marino back, but I'm not sold on it. Not sold on a lot of these guys here. So let's take care of Bennett first, and we might have to trade for the defenseman. So 1 year, 4.25. I'm fine with overpaying. He likes the deal. I'm not giving him a no move, but I'll give him a modified deal. Fine with that to get the interest up. Honestly, maybe let's try starting negotiations with him. I hate this system more than anything, but let's give it a shot. Let's try charming him. Fail, of course. Let's inquire. Let's see what's going on with his other offers. Another fail. Okay, so we might not end up landing Bennett here. Let's just move on to the terms of the contract. So it's going to be a 1 year deal. We can reevaluate after that. So improve offer. I am totally fine with overpaying you. Like I said, I would be willing to go, not $1 million, but I'll go like $500K extra. It's a pretty good bump to your salary. Okay, so he wants to see where he's playing in the lineup this year. Let's see. So line 1, no. So we could guarantee him power play time. I am fine with that. It's probably not going to be power play 1 or a top 6 role because he's going to be a third line center. But we'll give you power play 2. I'm fine with that, and I guess that's it. Offer the deal. He really likes the contract, but he just doesn't love the organizational fit. So I don't know if we're going to get him. The bar is definitely higher than it was. So that's good. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. So I'm going to go take a look around the NHL trade blocks now just for the defensive side of things. I'll see if I can find someone that makes a little bit more sense than, you know, the Girard or the Marino that's available in free agency. Alright, so I have a potential deal lined up. It is to acquire Mikey Anderson out of LA. Very, very solid defensive defenseman at 85 overall in game. He does fit all defensive pairings, which is huge, and he's locked up on a really, really good contract. He doesn't even have any clauses. So we're sending a second and a third round pick back. Just get those picks in there, as well as Shane Brigley. Former first round pick just like, 10 minutes ago as in this episode. So we're sending a first, a second, and a third for a guy that they want to sell, and they are sellers. LA, what do you say to this trade? Trade accepted. Love to see it. Okay, so let's just continue simming here and see if we can get Sam Bennett. 1 day, nothing. 2 days, nothing. Come on, Bennett. and he signs with the Buffalo Sabres. Okay, so we still need a third line center. Is there anybody else here? Forward wise, like you have Jamie Benn. I don't know, I'm not super sold he's going to drop off for sure this year. You have Giroux, same thing. Logan Couture, same thing, and then it just drops off. Then it gets to guys that you can technically probably fill out the AHL team with. So, once again, give me a minute. I'm going to go see if I can find a trade that works for a third line center. So there was only one name that really came and stood out to me. So first off, we're sending Bernard Docker and Carson to Toronto. Jacob Bernard Docker said, I do not want to switch teams. I want to go to defensemen. Oops, that is goalies and these menus sometimes. So I want to go to defensemen here in Toronto. Sorting by overall, 83, and then it kind of drops off. So Bernard Docker, he's been good for us, but he can solidify that bottom pairing in Toronto, as well as sending him that future defenseman in Carson in exchange for Max Domi. Perfect guy that can play in that middle six. He did have a down year. They're looking to move off from. I think he could be a good fit. 1 year left at 3.75, so the money works. Honestly, I think we can maybe even get a pick back here with Max Domi. Can we get maybe a 5th? Seems like a little overpay. Maybe not. Trade rejected, too far off. Can we get a 7th? Just give me something back here, Toronto. Pending UFA. Still trade rejected. No 7th. And there we go. So I think that's everything I really want to do in the off season. I'll meet back with you guys in the preseason once the lines are set. Okay, so this team is set and I think we're looking pretty good. So top line remains more or less what we had planned. Mikhail Ilyin and Callahan unfortunately had to swap just due to chemistry, -1 to 0. It's not too bad. Domi, honestly, I was thinking maybe Koivunen should be playing up there instead of a guy like Malkin. You don't want to disrespect Malkin, but you know, at this point he probably would understand it. He's 41 years old. Maybe we didn't need to make that Domi trade in hindsight. Forgot that Malkin could play center, even though probably at this point not so much. Anderson fits good on the top pairing. You have Pickering, you have Letang down to 81 now at 40 years of age. But honestly, I think we're looking okay. Blomqvist and, like I said, Jari, his last year here. I just need to go best lines in the AHL. You have Ivan Kovic down there, basically ready to come up. So I don't really know what we're going to be doing here with goaltending here in the future. So let's just go through this preseason very quick. We have a conversation with our head coach. Fortunately, no real life head coaches in this universe. Started it a little bit too early. If we do another series later in this year's game, then we'll see those real coaches appearing at some point. Lose our first game, win our second. Let's see if we can come out with a winning record here. 3-1, 4-1, 5-1. There we go. Great preseason so far. Finish off 5-2 after losing to the Rangers. Take a quick look at some of these stats before we wrap up everything here today. So Carlson still leading the way. He is so clutch for us. 10 assists in 7 games. McCann 7 goals in 7 games. Crosby right there. Everyone looking pretty good. Martone 6 assists. Callahan 5 points. He's gonna have to be a huge part of this team. Carlson, like I said, everyone else was still good defensively. Goaltending, Blomqvist was average. Hopefully get a little bit better numbers coming up, but we'll have to wait and see. So that is going to do it for episode 11 of our Pittsburgh Penguins franchise mode. Next episode, we will do the first half of the next season. So hopefully we can get back to the playoffs and make another run. But that'll do it for this one. I will see you all in the next video.